Welcome guys to my video tonight. Today I'm going to be describing what's in my bag and why it is. So I'll just start off with my first disc that I pulled out, which is the Axiom Thrill. The numbers are not posted on it, but it is an overstable disc, has great glide. This is a lightweight, so I use it when it's not so windy. My main putter that I use is the Start Aviator. The numbers on it is 2, 3, 0, and 1. So it is going to be a stable disc. When I throw it, it's very flat. A little fade to the left, but it's very straight for putting and approaches. My next disc is the Valkyrie. It's a distance driver. It is a little understable, so if you expect it to be overstable, don't. Has a slight flip if you throw it correctly. I love this disc for a backhand shot, especially with the speed and everything like that. The numbers are 9, 4, -2, and 2. So there you go. My next disc is the R Pro Skeeter. It is a mid-range with the numbers 5, 5, -1, and 1. Great disc. My brother says it's like a driver when I throw it. It goes crazy far for it being a mid-range. I love it. It goes straight. My other putter that I mainly use is the Envy Putt and Approach. The numbers on it are 3, 3, 0, and 2. So it's another one. It's a little bit more heavier set plastic, not really as flexible as my Start Aviator, which is pretty flexible if you can see. My Envy can't do that much. Great for approach shot as well. I mainly use it for the approaches, and then that way I know it's it's a heavy putter, so that way I know it can go through that wind where I want it to go. Another disc in my bag is the Rock 3. Its numbers are 5, 4, 0, and 3. It is a very gliding disc. I've thrown it probably, I was like maybe more than 60 feet away from the basket, and I threw this Rock 3 and I nailed it into the chains for the throw. So great disc. I would recommend it to anybody who is starting playing frisbee golf. It's the Rock 3. One of my newer discs that I just recently bought is the Thunderbird. Its numbers are 9, 5, 0, and 2. It is a very overstable driver. Great for upwind shots and crazy overstable. It has a bunch of fade for me. I throw it mainly forehand, and on a couple holes I'll throw it backhand, but mainly for forehand. Another great disc is the FX2 that I have in my bag. It is a fairway, and it's in the 400 series plastic. Overstable, but it's reliable. It's my only Prodigy disc that I have, and I'm looking forward to getting some more Prodigy. More expensive on the type side compared to my other discs, but really a great disc for the price, and I've thrown it for probably more than a year, and I throw quite a bit, so it's a great durability as there's not a lot of marks on the rims, and it's a great disc overall. One of my other fairways is the Champion T-Bird. The numbers are 7, 5, 0, and 2. I don't usually throw this fairway and my other fairway as much as I throw the FX2. The FX2 is just a greater disc than these other ones that I have thrown. In my personal preference, and my other fairway driver is the Leopard 3, which has numbers 7, 5, -2, and 1. Very similar flight pass. I'll throw these as well, just not as much, like I said, with me having that FX2 400 series. I was a little conscious about buying the FX2 with the price, but the quality of the FX2 is just fantastic for that price. So, very similar. These fairways are both overstable, so it's not no chance of it flipping, not unless you really do something wrong or your throws are off from what these are used for. Another mid-range that I have out of 5 mid-ranges is the Axiom Alias. The numbers aren't shown on this, but it is an overstable disc. I have thrown this disc on a tee-off actually at one of my parks near me that I play at, and shot it through trees, over a hill, and it parked at like 15 feet from the basket. So it's a great disc. It's really straight for throwing in tight spaces, so great disc overall. It's one of my first mid-ranges that I actually had when I started playing. My other mid-range that I recently bought is actually the Bounty. The Bounty is an understable disc, an understable mid-range, and it has a flip to it as long as you throw it correctly. So if you need to get around a couple of trees in a S curve, great disc for the mid-range shots. Specifically, the plastic is a little soft. It's easy damageable, but if you're a good thrower and a good player, even if you're a young player, it's a cheaper disc to get to know. Great flight pass. It can get a little rough on the edges if you keep hitting trees, but people that have played a lot, great disc. My next mid-range is the Truth. It's an overstable mid-range. Its flight numbers are 5, 5, 0, and 2. So I can get some distance out of this one as well. I even use it as almost like a fairway as well. It's crazy how far it goes, and it's reliable. If you put it on the line that you want it, it'll get where you want it. Doesn't have a lot of surprise turns or anything like that. Even in the wind, it doesn't affect it. It's a great disc. Same type of plastic as the Bounty, so it can get a little rough if you hit a lot of objects that you're not supposed to. One of my first drivers, actually the first driver that I had collected, was the Nuke SS. The numbers are worn down, but they're 13, 5, -3, 3. So this is also a flippy disc. It's understable, and when I started out with it, it was great. Now, except it's kind of worn down, I can get some really good rollers off of this disc, and usually I'm using it for windy days, and it's a little too windy, so I throw this as a roller, and it gets pretty much the same distance as your normal throw on a less windy day. Okay, I only got 2 more discs in my bag. They are both distance drivers. This one was found at a park, and I tried calling the number, and I got a response, but it was the wrong number, wrong guy, and so I was able to keep this disc. It's called the Turn. The numbers are 12, 6, -2, and 2. So it has a little understable to it, but not a lot. And on another hole, I can put this into an S curve on just a slight S curve. It's not even a lot. It's more of just a tiny bit, so that way I can get around trees. I've parked it by the hole off the tee off once, a couple times actually, and it is a great disc for me to throw. I've only thrown it a couple times because I use the Thunderbird more, and I use the Valkyrie more than my other drivers today. So that's my turn, and it's a great disc to have in the bag. You should get it in your bag if you're young playing. If you're experienced, I'm sure you already have it in your bag. My last disc, which is the distance driver, the Pro Wraith. My brother got it for me for Christmas, and I took off with this disc especially. It has an 11 speed, 5, -1, and 3. So I throw it, and it's an overstable disc. Just remember that -1 can give it a little flip, but you're not going to get a lot of flip. You're going to need a lower number than a -1 for a more flippy disc. I've played for several years, and some of my discs that I have bought, like the Nuke SS, the mid-range Alias, the driver Thrill, and my putter, the Envy, was all bought from a person who lended me their discs until I can get my own discs that are better than the Franklin discs, which are non-PDGA approved. All my discs are PDGA approved now. So when you're looking for discs and getting involved in Frisbee golf, you need to make sure that the Frisbee discs that you are buying are PDGA approved, which is Professional Disc Golf Association. So yeah, these were the 4 that I started out with, and then I collected 11 more. And so now I'm looking forward to getting more, especially more Prodigy. Prodigy is probably the better brands, so as well as Innova. Innova is one of the better brands as well. Dynamic Discs and Discraft is another main brand of Frisbee golf. Those are mainly your top 4 brands for Frisbee golf that are very popular at professional tournaments. Some of the other ones by Dynamic Discs are also like Westside Discs. It's like a trilogy there. Can't wait to go out there and play again. If anybody from around Lamar wants to play, hit me in the comments, and I will come join you, and we can schedule a time to go play and have some fun. If you have any other tips on what I can do better to get subscribers, or not even subscribers, just get my videos more out there. If you guys want to see anything specific, just let me know in the comments as well. I am totally looking forward to help people that are younger than me and experienced, and then also learning from the experienced players as well that have YouTube accounts, so that way I can get better as well. Thank you for watching this video. Like the video, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to my channel, and you will get more videos of me throwing a bunch more discs. I'll make sure I get all of them, and I'll especially make sure I get more of the Prodigy discs, so that way I can show you more of their flight paths as well. Thank you again, and over and out.